Hello and welcome to Raju Notes channel, your pit stop for weekly current affairs updates. The updates tailor-made for students taking all kinds of competitive exams like UPSC, civils, defense and placement interviews. Please subscribe to the channel and stay updated every Sunday. Sheikh Hasina resigned as Bangladesh Prime Minister amid violent protests that killed around 300. They were triggered as government announced 30% of job quota for families of veterans from Bangladesh 1971 war of independence and evolved into wider anti-government protests. The quota was scrapped but protests continued, with people demanding apology for the death and seeking release of arrested demonstrators. The Cabinet Committee of India on Security was chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi and took stock of the situation in Bangladesh. The meeting was attended by External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, Home Minister Amit Shah, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, and others. Meanwhile, Bangladeshi President Mohammad Shahabuddin had appointed Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus as the next Prime Minister. Union Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change Mr. Bhupendra Yadav this week said that the central government has declared Adi Chunchunagiri in Karnataka and Chulanur in Kerala as peacock sanctuaries. In a reply regarding question to the death of peacocks in Delhi, he informed Lok Sabha that peacocks died due to heat stroke and not by avian influenza. The minister said several measures have been taken for the conservation of the national bird and the ministry has also set up breeding and conservation centers for peacocks. Ukraine has received its first American-made F-16 fighter jets. Making the announcement, President Volodymyr Zelensky thanked allies and added that many more were needed. President Zelensky thanked Denmark, the Netherlands, US, and Ukraine's other partners for accepting Kyiv's request for F-16s. He said the Ukrainian pilots have already started using the F-16 aircrafts. According to media reports, Ukraine received the first 10 F-16 fighter jets on the last day of July. The local media reported that the arrival of the jets marks a crucial milestone in bolstering the capabilities of Ukrainian Air Force, which still largely relies on old Soviet-era aircrafts. According to the senior Ukrainian military officials, Ukraine is likely to keep few of these F-16 jets at a foreign base to protect them from Russian airstrikes. On the other hand, Russian President Vladimir Putin has warned that Moscow could consider launching strikes at facilities in NATO countries if they host the warplanes used in Ukraine. President Draupadi Murmu, who is on a 2-day visit to Fiji, was conferred with the Companion of Order of Fiji, the highest honor of Fiji, by the President of Fiji. President Murmu addressed the Fijian Parliament where she recalled the 75 years diplomatic association between the countries. President Murmu later addressed the Fijian Parliament where she thanked the Fijian government for their support for Aditya L1 mission and recalled India's support to Fiji during COVID-19 crisis through the Vaccine Maitri initiative. President Draupadi Murmu and the Prime Minister of Fiji, Steveni Rebecca, presided over the formal handing over of the documentation allotting the project site for 100-bedded super specialty cardiology hospital in Fiji and High Commission of India Channery and Cultural Center complex in Suva. In a flurry of diplomatic activity, world leaders and high-ranking officials are scrambling to ease tension in Middle East as Israel prepares for a possible attack from Iran. The heightened alert follows the assassination of Hamas political leader Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran last week. Russian Security Council Secretary Sergei Shoigu met the Iranian officials in Tehran, with reports suggesting Russia may be delivering advanced air defense systems to Iran. Meanwhile, US CENTCOM Commander General Michael Kurilla is conferring with Israeli leadership. Egyptian officials have reportedly declined to join the defensive coalition against a potential Iranian attack. In a rare diplomatic move, Jordan's Foreign Minister Ayman Safadi visited Iran in an attempt to dissuade Tehran from retaliating against Israel. US President Joe Biden held crisis talks with his national security team, reaffirming America's commitment to Israel's security while working to de escalate regional tensions. The United States has bolstered its military presence in region, dispatching additional warships and fighter jets to support Israel. Turkey announced plans to join the International Court of Justice case against Israel, adding another layer of complexities to the already tense situation. Italy and Iraq issued a joint statement pledging efforts to prevent regional escalation. As the situation continues to evolve, the international community watches closely, hoping that diplomatic efforts will succeed in averting a potentially catastrophic confrontation between Iran and Israel. The government has announced the Rashtriya Vigyan Puraskar, one of the highest recognitions in the field of science, technology, and innovation in India. The objective of Rashtriya Vigyan Puraskar is to recognize the noble and inspiring contributions made by scientists, technologists, and innovators, either directly or in teams, across various fields of science, technology, and technology led innovation. The ISRO Chandrayaan 3 team will be awarded Vigyan Team Award for their contribution to space science and technology. Former Director of Indian Institute of Science, Professor G. Padmanabhan, has been selected for Vigyan Ratna Award in Biological Sciences. The Vigyan Ratna Award recognizes lifetime achievements and contributions in any field of science and technology. Anand Ramakrishnan, Umesh Varshne, Bhim Singh, Adimurthy, Syed Waja Ahmad Naqvi, Sanjay Bihari, and Rahul Mukherjee are among those selected for Vigyan Shri Awards. The award ceremony of all these categories will be held on 23rd of this month in conjunction with the National Space Day. RBI keeps repo rate unchanged at 6.50% for the ninth time in a row. The Reserve Bank of India Governor Shaktikanta Das on Thursday announced the Monetary Policy Committee's MPC's decision to keep the repo rate unchanged at 6.50%. It's the ninth time in a row that the RBI has kept the policy repo rate unchanged at 6.50%. The repo rate is a rate at which the RBI lends money to the banks. Parliament has passed the Finance Number 2 Bill 2024, the Appropriation Number 2 Bill 2024, and the J&K Appropriation Number 3 Bill 2024, with Rajya Sabha returning these bills to the Lok Sabha after discussion. The Lok Sabha has already passed these bills. The Finance Bill gives effect to the financial proposals of the central government for the financial year 2024-2025. The Appropriation Number 2 Bill seeks to authorize payments and appropriation of certain sums from out of the consolidated funds of India for the services of financial year 2024-2025. The Jammu and Kashmir Appropriation Number 3 Bill authorizes payment and appropriation of certain sums from and out of the consolidated fund of the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir for the services of the financial year 2024 and 2025. President Draupadi Murmu has congratulated the Indian hockey team for securing the bronze medal at Paris Olympics 2024. In a social media post, the president said, India has won bronze medal back-to-back in Olympics after 5 decades. President Murmu also said that the team has made India proud and deserves the highest praise for the resurgence of Indian hockey. The consistency, skill, cohesion and fighting spirit will be an inspiration for the youth of the country. The Waqf Amendment Bill 2024 is being introduced in the Lok Sabha. Minority Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju has moved the bill for introduction in the lower house to further amend the Waqf Act 1995. The bill seeks to address issues related to the power and functioning of the State Waqf Board as well as registration and survey of Waqf properties. The Waqf Amendment Bill 2024 is intended to overcome the shortcomings and to enhance the efficiency of the administration and management of the Waqf properties. The bill has provisions of renaming the Waqf Act 1995 as the Unified Waqf Management, Empowerment, Efficiency and Development Act of 1995. It also provides the functioning of a survey commissioner to the collector or to any other person not below the rank of deputy collector duly nominated by collector for the survey of Waqf properties. It also has provisions for the broad based composition of the Central Waqf Council and State Waqf boards and ensures the representation of Muslim women and non Muslims. It also provides for the establishment of separate board of Awqaf for Bohras and Aga Khanis and representation of Shia, Sunni, Bohra and Aga Khanis and other backward classes amongst the Muslim communities. The bill has provisions for reforming the tribunal structure with two members and providing for appeals against the order of the tribunal to the High Court within a specified period of 90 days. The central government has constituted a committee to monitor the current situation on the Indo Bangladesh border. The committee will maintain communication channels with their counterpart authorities in Bangladesh to ensure safety of Indian nationals and people belonging to the minority communities in Bangladesh. The committee will be headed by the ADG of the Border Security Force Eastern Command and will include the IG of BSF Frontier Headquarters South Bengal, the IG of BSF Frontier Headquarters Tripura, the members of Planning and Development from the Land Port Authority of India and the Secretary of Land Port Authority of India as its members. The Carriage of Goods by Sea Bill was introduced in the Lok Sabha this week by Minister of Ports, Shipping and Waterways Sarbananda Sonowal. The bill aims to modernize and update the legal framework governing the responsibilities, liabilities, rights, and immunities of carrier involved in the sea transport of goods. Key points of the bill include replacing the Indian Carrier of Goods by Sea Act 1925, which is nearly a century old, empowering the government to issue directives to ensure compliance with the international conventions and adapt the evolving global maritime landscape. The minister highlighted that the necessity of these updates to address the current industry practices and international standards. The Banking Law Amendment Bill 2024 was introduced in the Lok Sabha this week by Union Minister of State for Finance Pankaj Chaudhary. This bill seeks to amend several significant banking laws to modernize and enhance the regulatory frameworks of the banking sector. The amendments propose including changes to the Reserve Bank of India Act 1934, the Banking Regulation Act of 1949, the State Bank of India Act 1955, and the Banking Companies Acquisition and Transfer Undertaking Act of 1970 and 1980. The bill aims to streamline banking operations and align them with the contemporary financial practices, reflecting the government's commitment to improving the efficiency and effectiveness of banking regulations. The Lok Sabha also saw the introduction of the Railways Amendment Bill 2024 by Railways Minister Ashwini Vaishnav. The bill aims to amend the Railways Act of 1989 to enhance the powers of the Railways Board and improve operational efficiency. Key provisions of the bill include the integration of the Indian Railway Board Act of 1905 into the Railways Act of 1989. This move seeks to simplify the legal framework governing Indian Railways by repealing the Indian Railway Board Act of 1905 and incorporating its provisions into Railways Act. The changes are intended to streamline the constitution and composition of the Railway Board, thereby boosting the overall efficiency of railway operations. The bill was introduced to modernize and strengthen the administrative framework of Indian Railways. Aman Sherawat is India's youngest individual medalist in Olympics history. Wrestler Aman Sherawat became India's youngest individual medalist in the history of Olympics after he bagged bronze in the men's 57 kg freestyle wrestling event in Paris Olympics. The 21-year-old beat Puerto Rican wrestler Darian Kurz in bronze medal match. Notably, Aman was the sole male Indian wrestler at Paris Olympics. Meanwhile, Indian javelin thrower Neeraj Chopra received his silver medal at Paris Olympics as the podium ceremony took place on Friday. It is Neeraj's second Olympic medal. He had bagged gold at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Pakistan's Arshad Nadeem received his gold medal, which is the first ever individual gold medal won by a Pakistani athlete in Olympics history. What is a megaquake? A megaquake is exceptionally large earthquake which has a magnitude of 8 or more on the Richter scale. The magnitude of an earthquake is related to the areas of the fault line. The largest ever earthquake of 9.5 magnitude occurred in Chile in 1960 on almost 1,000-mile long and 150-mile wide fault, as per the US Geological Survey. India's first methane eating bacteria discovered. Scientists have reportedly discovered the indigenous methane eating bacteria known as methanotrophs in rice fields and wetlands in western India. The team isolated and described the novel genus and species of methanotrophs named Methylocoucumens oryzae. Methane, the second most important greenhouse gas, has 26 times more global warming potential than carbon dioxide.
Well, that's all, friends, for this week's updates. See you soon next Sunday on the same channel. Till then, take care. Bye bye.